Yeah, no. Did you really think that I was about to share that on YouTube? Did you really think what I'm going to share with you is something pretty interesting? Now, in today's society, coming out to your friends and family about something maybe controversial that you want to do to your body can be quite nerve-wracking, whether that be, you know, take anabolic steroids, get surgery if you're a female, whether that be getting a boob job, getting your lips done. Coming out to your friends and family can be one of the most nerve-wracking things to do. So for this video, I thought I'd share with you my story that wasn't in the norm and how my friends reacted when they found out that I was doing something that would be frowned upon by the rest of society. I was really interested to find out what my friends and family would think, but I'm going to share with you guys their opinions, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
What's going on, everyone? So it is time to sit down and answer a couple questions about Brandon.
What is up, Brandon's viewers? Merijn here, and today I'm going to answer some questions about Brandon.
Take about 17. Yeah, lighting's there then. Let's have you.
Brandon asked me to give some of my answers on his questions about not being natural, so I'm going to do my best.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dr. Diamonds, and Brandon has asked me to answer some of these questions.
What did
Do you think when you
Found out Brandon
Told me he was taking
Steroids.
It's so funny because it never even crossed my mind to think if he was or wasn't taking steroids when I got to know him. And then when I did find out that he was taking steroids, it didn't change my opinion on him at all.
I have to say, we were not very surprised. So there was a group of us in a house because we were shooting for a jeans company called Legend London. We were spending a lot of time with each other, a bunch of YouTubers that you'd know, and we're having really good conversations. And Brandon was very, open and honest with us about it. So we respected that. We were like, cool, he's absolutely massive in person. So we're like, yeah, not surprised. It was actually myself and Joselyn were like, yo, if you were like open about this on your channel, I bet it would be really well received because people just love honesty, people love when you keep it real with them.
I think, like, plain and simple, surprised more than anything. To hear that he was actually using them was surprising, and I think I was the first person that he told. Just going, from 17 all the way until 21 when he really decided to start using them, I was just surprised and, hoped that he was still healthy and, like, it didn't change him, and I think I was a little worried it would, like, affect his health.
Now, I never knew Brandon before he was on steroids, but I assume, like, I've been in the fitness industry for quite some time now, so I can definitely spot it. And Brandon was 5 times as big as I am when he was younger than I am, but I just automatically assume he's doing competitions. He's obviously, you need some extra guidance when you do that in that particular level that he was doing it at. Now, me knowing that or me assuming that didn't change my opinion on him. I don't think you should judge people by the way that they look, for example, but I judge people by their actions, their behavior, and if someone is a good person, then I don't care what he's doing in his time.
I think I was one of the first people to find out when he did do it, and his words were more like, over FaceTime, I lost my natty card, and I was like, what? And he explained what happened, and at that point he's already taken the leap. The only thing he can do, make sure he's aware of the risk and that he needs to have regular medical checkups. All our people within our age bracket are okay with taking now, but when you get 30, 40 and your heart isn't working the same and you just can't breathe normally, you're gonna regret it. So I made sure he was well aware of the risks and what he needs to do to combat those risks.
So at first I was a bit in shock. A lot of friends, like mutual friends that me and Brandon have, and even my family members were saying, surely Brandon's on steroids, he's getting too big, he's massive. And at first obviously Brandon was natural, just 100%. Then eventually when he started to compete, I think he started taking them then. He was like, Luke, I've got something to tell you, taking these steroids called anabolic steroids. And then I didn't know what there was, obviously, so I was like, what? You actually taking them? I've been telling people you're natural, blah, 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 all of that. And he told me the reasons why for his competition, and as long as he was healthy, mentally and physically, it didn't really bother me, as long as he was all right.
It wasn't really a shock, do you know what I mean? I know he always wanted to compete. Entering naturally isn't really an option. You're fighting a lost battle if you think you can compete with the people on stage who are taking steroids. And I know he isn't stupid, do you know what I mean? I know a lot of thought went into the process of whether he was going to become unnatural or not. If you want to be the best at something, and that's your sport, and you love it as much as Brandon loves bodybuilding, you do what it takes to become the best at that sport.
I mean, to be honest, I wasn't surprised. Having competed and in the industry myself, I know that it is quite common thing, especially amongst male competitors, to take anabolic steroids. Because Brandon competes and he competes at a high level, I wasn't really that surprised.
Did you see
A difference.
In his
Behaviour.
Me personally,
I know steroids can change people's behaviours, but if anything, I just think they've made Brandon more driven and more passionate, because when you choose to do something like take steroids, you're making a really big decision. You must have thought really hard and long about what you're doing, and you must be doing it for a reason. I don't think it's changed his personality in a negative way. I just think by choosing to take them, he's even more driven and he's even more focused than he ever was before, because you wouldn't be those things and you wouldn't put your health at risk if it wasn't for something you really truly loved.
I've met Brandon quite a few times and he's actually a very calm and chilled guy. He's like a gentle giant, but there's definitely no roid rage going on there. So no, I can't say I see signs of anabolic steroids in his personality.
I definitely didn't, like not at first, not at all. I don't think I did it until his most recent prep. Nothing super noticeable. Like if I didn't know him as well as I did, then I don't think I'd really notice it. I think he was just a little sensitive to certain things, like easier to have a mood swing than he maybe normally would be. And I think the more and more on this prep that we talked, the more I realized that the reason he was maybe having those mood swings this time around was because like pressures that he was going through and like stress and like ups and downs of like relationships and things in his life, including the one with me, and that was really stressful in itself. So
I could skip this question, right? Because I didn't know you from before. It feels weird talking to you on the camera, by the way.
I can't say I have, because I'm not with Brandon all the time. I see him twice or thrice a year. We speak all the time over phone. I guess he's asking that because anabolics do have a psycho-emotional effect. I would assume he has moments where he's different, but I can't say, honestly.
I didn't really see a difference in his behaviour either. Dunny seems exactly the same person. Bubbly, confident, outgoing, exactly the same. Doesn't seem sad. He's exactly the same as the kid I knew like 5, 6, 7 years ago in school, so.
Not really. I mean, I only see him in the gym, and when we're doing things on the weekend, he's got no reason for his attitude or anything to change, really. He's got no reason to get angry or annoyed. But I don't live with him day to... What am I giving it that one? I don't know how he reacts to things when he gets annoyed. I don't know if that's changed over time, but probably one for the family members.
me personally, I saw no difference in Brandon's behaviour. Our friendship was still the same, is still the same, and nothing has changed. Maybe people who are closer to him, for example, Brittany, his girlfriend, or maybe some of his family members who see him more regularly than I do, maybe they would have noticed a difference because they were around him every day. Anabolic steroids you can take, I've heard that they can change your mood, they can make you like restless, kind of get annoyed quite easily, but for me and Brandon's friendship, I noticed no difference whatsoever.
What's your
opinion on
Anabolic
Steroids.
Well,
It's a hard one because I see both sides and I understand why people do take them and I understand why people don't take them. From knowing Brandon and him being such a good friend, like I know his why, I understand his choices, and I think if you do decide to do something with your life and your body, just make sure you do it in a really smart and positive way. I think what Brandon's done by just being honest and authentic is a really important thing, because it's when people start hiding and pretending that it can become a problem. Brandon has obviously researched and has a coach and is doing it in a very smart way that isn't going to jeopardize his health. If you do decide to do it, yeah, just surround yourself with good people who understand.
I think there is certainly a time and place for them, and I'm not necessarily against them. If you want to be a professional bodybuilder, if you want to take your physique to the next level, steroids are probably going to be your best option. But if you've just been in the gym for a couple of weeks, even a couple months, even a couple of years, right? People just want to take a shortcut, and steroids is not the answer, okay?
I personally, like as somebody who used to compete, like I get that a lot of our fitness idols use them. I'm not going to sit here and act like these people that we look up to on Instagram and YouTube and whatever don't, because the majority of them probably do. I think more than anything, like use what you have first. You know, if you're 17 trying to get a quick fix, like this isn't going to do it. Know what you're doing. Your body has to be ready for it. And I'm just glad, you know, Brandon waited as long as he did and researched the way that he did. He's really been brilliant about like knowing what he can and can't put in his body, and really smart and safe about it.
So I'm personally natural and I preach a natural lifestyle. Now this doesn't mean I am completely against steroids and I don't feel the need for anyone to take them. And I personally am pretty much against it in a certain way, because I feel like bodybuilding is just taking the wrong route. And I just feel like people start to get bigger and bigger, and it starts to become more of a freak show these days. Looking back at the old era of bodybuilding, when it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane and all those guys, it was a completely different level than it is now. And now the drugs have just become the biggest part of the sport, is what it almost feels to me. But what I am against is people that use steroids to obtain a good physique, and that is all. You know, just the regular Joe, like you and me. Well, I'm on Brandon's channel, so you guys are probably massive bodybuilders. Skinny guys like me that just want to look good on the beach, that want to still enjoy their lives and party, and next to that get in shape. I feel like you're literally an idiot, and it makes no sense at all to use anabolic steroids to accomplish that, because you are taking the shortcut. Because lifting is not all about building muscle. I believe it goes far beyond that, you know, in the mindset and, you know, everything that you do in life, energy, focus, everything, right? Lifting just improves the quality of life. Then you do not need anabolic steroids, and I am highly against it. I'm about to fucking start a rant here, man.
To an impressionable audience, don't do it, because all of the people in our generation, all the bodybuilders who are taking it, showing you the effects of it right now. A good example is, look at Callum Von Moger, look at what's happened to him recently. Look at C.T. Fletcher, look what's happened to him recently. Look at Rich Piana, look at Dallas McCarver. After some time, you start to see your body doesn't function the way it used to.
I don't really have one. I did a little bit of research about them. It just seems like there's a stigma attached to steroids that all of them are bad and they can affect men physically and mentally, making them angry. There's probably loads of documentaries on YouTube and the TV about them, but as for anabolic ones, I don't really have an opinion about them.
Personally, they're not for me, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to compete or anything like that, and I'd never do it for an egotistical reason. If you think that's a good idea, then you need your head looking at, because taking the health risks just to look good is not your best bet. But when you're competing, it's a shame, but that is what you've got to do you know what I mean? It is a shame that it's like that, because if everyone was competing naturally, everyone would be natural.
For me, I find it quite hard to have an opinion because I haven't come across it too much. Like, it's not something that surrounds my everyday life. It's just, you have to be careful. Like, whatever you put inside your body, food or anabolic steroids, for example, like, you have to just be aware, you have to be educated, and you've just got to be careful. If used appropriately and used in the right way for the right goal, then of course they can be beneficial. So I think as long as the user is just aware of what they're doing and is fully educated to the best that they can be, then I don't see any harm in it. I just think you've got to be educated enough to do it.
One piece
of advice
you would give Brandon
moving forward
with the use of
anabolic steroids.
Never freaking change, regardless of if you are on steroids or aren't on steroids. You're an amazing freaking person, so never ever change. Look after your health. Your health is so important, and if you're ever feeling alone or down or just need someone to talk to, you know you have so many people in your life who support you. You're always gonna have people here for you. You're gonna have me. So yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing it for you, and that's the most important thing, and we're here for you as well.
Obviously, safety is number one. Stay safe, bro. And I also think it's important to understand that you are a big guy right now. You know, we see results and want to keep going. We keep going. We get addicted. I think it's important to always put your health first. Sometimes hear about bodybuilders running into heart problems and health complications later in life. So just always take it easy.
To never let it change who you are. Like, if there's ever a point where you're feeling like maybe it's making you different or sad or miserable, or like, you know, you're having migraines all the time or whatever it is, just know to step back, because like, you all natural, the way that you are is exactly who I love. And I just never want to lose that. So I would just say, like, know when to stop, know when to take a break. If God forbid there ever was some kind of like weird side effect, if it changed you.
First of all, I do highly respect the fact that he openly shares everything on his YouTube channel. I think that is a great way to do things, because it is obviously an even worse thing to use anabolic steroids and then give people complete false expectations, because you're leaving out one very important part, right? And that's what a lot of people in the fitness industry are guilty of. So big respect for that. Now, my biggest piece of advice is to make sure you just constantly get checkups with a doctor, because I feel like that is obviously super important to make sure your levels are in check and you're not completely fucking up your health, because maybe one day you will want children or whatever, and you gotta also keep that in mind. And the day you stop competing, make sure to stop the steroids as well and continue naturally. You're not natty done anymore, actually.
Regular medical checkups. Holla at me. I'm finishing to you. Holla at me. I'm gonna make sure that he does that, because you just never know what's happening with your body. There are people who go about it in a very smart way and live for many years. Those who say you could die from anything else, smoking, drinking, car accidents, yes, that happens, but obviously. I'm gonna end it there. I think that's the only questions he had for me, bro.
Stay healthy, monitor yourself all the time. If something happens that's so small, just minute, just a change in your behavior or physical appearance, maybe come off them or go see a doctor. But yeah, always monitor yourself, keep yourself healthy, mind and body.
I mean, everyone's going to say the same answer, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? You got to take the correct precautions, really. Get all the blood check everything. I don't really know what the precautions are. You got to take them. You got to take them. When we speak about steroids, I always say to him, make sure you're having your time off. It's important that you have your breaks in between your cycles and things like that. Swings and roundabouts, pros and cons. Think that'll do you, mate? Boom! Hang on, ta-da. Just get a little bit, one of them ones in for you then.
Be careful. Be aware of what you're doing, and I'm sure he is. Know your goal, know what you want to achieve, and if the use of anabolic steroids will help you get there, or you need them to allow you to get to that point, then that's absolutely fine. Not going to judge him for that at all. Just as his friend, I just want him to be careful.
So that's it, man. Thanks for featuring me in the video, and I'll see you soon.
Keep on doing you, but be careful.
So yeah.
I'm rambling now, so Brandon, you're gonna have to cut this.
You're always gonna have people here for you. You're gonna have me.
And the day you stop competing, make sure to stop the steroids as well and continue naturally. You're not natty done anymore, actually.
And we're here for you as well.
So then guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Those are some of the opinions of my friends and what they thought about a decision I decided to do and make with my body. Obviously we all have different stories. Some people want to get surgeries done, some people aren't happy with their appearance, some people just want to do things that they're scared that their friends or family may just judge them for, and sometimes that's enough to just like completely shy someone away from something that they want to do. We are all completely entitled to do whatever we want with our bodies, and we should not let the opinions of others shy us away from what we want to do. My story is anabolic steroids, but some people, if you're a female, you may want to get your boobs done. Honestly, we all have different stories, and we should not let the opinions or the possible opinions of other people shy us away from what we want to do. We're all entitled to do whatever we want with our bodies. The aim of this video was to maybe, you know, give some confidence to you guys, because obviously I was scared about what my friends and family were going to think when they found out I was doing what I was doing to my body. Obviously, some people had stronger opinions than others, but all in all, it's made me realize how blessed I am to have the friends that I do have, and you may not know how blessed you are to have the friends that you have also. So with that being said guys, I'm going to end this video here. It's a little bit of a different one, but if you enjoyed it, please smash the like button. If you think this video could help a friend, share it with them, and if you haven't already, join the Don Squad. Thank you Adam_Physique for being part of the Don Squad, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.